many cute babies in the audience today. At some point, those babies grow up and then they go off to foreign places and they get married. Please welcome Sandi Richard, because she was just at her kid's wedding. Right? That's what happens. They start as those sweet little babies in the audience, and then they grow up, and then they meet someone they love, and then they get married. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because you were in Thailand, you were in Indonesia.
Yes.
Because your daughter got married.
One daughter got married, and one daughter lives in Thailand.
Oh my goodness.
And works in Thailand.
That's beautiful, because now you always have an excuse to go overseas and visit.
I know.
And you had a good time. You were there for 5.5 weeks. You almost didn't come home.
I didn't want to kind of come home. I did. I missed everybody, but I loved it there so much. I loved it there so much.
What did you love about it? We're going to cook a recipe that's inspired from your time there. But we've got some pictures from your stay there. I want to know what stands out to you. What do you love about the area, the region?
I love the people. I love the weather, needless to say. I love the weather. I love the people. It was such a good food journey for me in that, you know, as a meal planner living in North America, I see people constantly trying to do the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to eat the perfect food, and they're trying to exercise the perfect way. And really, when you go to places like Indonesia or Thailand, you see some very common denominators, some things that they do all the time.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what some of the pictures I brought along were to show what they do.
So like using a bike, for instance. That's you on the bike there.
This is my daughter and I on bicycles. We walked everywhere, we biked everywhere. If you need to get somewhere that's a longer distance away, you hop in a tuk-tuk, or you hop in something that's just going to take you 2 or 3 kilometers away. Otherwise, you're walking or you're biking. Fruit.
Vegetables, fruit.
No, do you know that a smoothie stand is literally fruits in cups, and then they combine them for you and they mush them up, and that's it.
That's kind of what a smoothie is supposed to be, right?
Vegetables.
We don't have an idea of that, though, here.
And tons of vegetables in everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
So very healthy diet, you found.
Very healthy diet, small amount of meat, very small amount of meat. The meat department is literally what would be our 2 milk coolers in a grocery store is their meat department in a massive grocery store. So
now
small
let's
amounts
talk
of meat.
about grocery store versus marketplaces, because you had a really good time shopping.
Yes. Okay. So the marketplace, let me tell you something. Here's the difference between helpers here and helpers there.
Yeah.
I am a fan of helpers, as you know. I think we should use little curry packs and little things of coconut, you know, milk and so on and so forth. There, Grandma's making them.
Right.
Here, we have a food company making them for us.
Right.
If you want these helpers to be made by somebody else, hey, go to the local little markets that we have here, and you probably are going to find someone who's health board approved, and they'll make your little curries for you instead of buying for a package. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But use helpers.
Yeah.
Tools of the trade. This is a garlic grinder. They use very, very simple little tools of the trade. Tools are everything, people.
So it's got little, what do you call these?
Little kind of nails.
Little
this is
nails
very basic,
in there,
right?
And that you would grate your garlic with that.
And then here's a more modern version of the same thing.
Did they do the same thing, right?
But here's the deal. I'm always telling people tools of the trade, and you'll be able to pull off a quick meal. And you're going to see that with the curry that we're making right now. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If you're using the right tools of the trade, if you've got the right knives, right graters, right whatever, like they do, you can pull off a meal very, very quickly.
So we got a red Thai curry.
We got a red Thai curry that we're going to make, and I want to show you how super easy it is. You're going to notice that we're using a chicken thigh.
Yeah.
They use chicken thigh a lot in their curries.
Okay.
Reason being, they don't eat a lot of red meat. And so they want more iron out of the meat. And so they use dark meat, which has more iron. The dark poultry has more iron.
Well, you're a fan of chicken thighs too. I mean, there's a little bit more flavor because there's a little bit more fat.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're a realist when it comes to the food, aren't you?
Exactly. I'm going to use it all. Okay, so all we're going to add to the chicken, onion. This is a very common ingredient that they use. They use lots of onion. They use lots of shallots. Shallots are a huge thing for in Thailand, in Indonesia, all over northern Thailand. Thailand. They use carrots. It's one of the few things that they do actually import.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Everything else they pretty much have here. So you're going to see things that are very common that we have here. Yep, red pepper, in it goes. So you're noticing that everything, tons and tons of vegetables. Mushroom is key. Hello.
Yeah, I love mushrooms. I don't use them enough.
And then if we want to switch places, can we? Or do you want to cut the zucchini? You can.
No, you cut it.
Okay,
Go for
excellent.
Let's just switch places, shall
Let's
we?
just switch places. Now, while I'm cutting the zucchini, I want you to add some more ingredients here.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
You're going to add a can of coconut milk into there.
Okay.
Coconut milk is huge in Thailand. They use coconut cream, coconut oil, coconut milk.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice the size of people from Thailand?
Well, they're teeny tiny.
They're little teeny tiny people.
So obviously it's a good fat, what you're trying to say, right?
Fat. You can put as much of this in as you like. Well, calf is great. Palm sugar is another thing. So in our culture, sugar's bad, sugar's bad, sugar's bad. Sugar's in everything there.
Right.
Okay? So they add a little bit of sugar. Now, if you can't get palm sugar, and you'll see in the grocery stores, palm sugar's in kind of like this kind of in a big clump of hard thing, like it's like this. You just add boiling water to it.
Okay.
Mix it up. Keep it in a jar in your fridge. If you can't get it, brown sugar, a little molasses for the color is absolutely fine.
So no better or no worse for you?
No better, no worse.
Okay.
And then you're just going to use a curry paste. Now, the reason I'm not putting some of the standards in, like fish sauce, this is kaffir lime leaves and Thai basil, is because it's already in the paste.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
That makes it easy.
Now, when you go to the marketplaces or when you're walking down the street in Thailand, you're going to see just before dinner time, you are going to see carts, and they have these hanging in little bags. And this is what you do when you go home. You go to the market, you get your fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
You get your curry, you squeeze it in. You basically are assembling your meal.
That's the best thing ever. So, but you have to be, I mean, I like it when it's just assembly. You haven't really done a lot of work. But you do have to do all the chopping and so on.
You do have to
be ready.
do the chopping if you want to. Believe it or not, in Thailand, in Bali, in Indonesia, you would be surprised how many places even have things that are chopped and cut for you. So it's really interesting.
Really?
I know. Imagine.
Because when we go to the grocery store and you go get the stuff that's pre-chopped, you're paying so much more for it. So I like the idea of having that as an option, though.
Yes, and
at a good price.
Yes, and so it's really interesting how this is culturally acceptable in Asia.
Yeah.
Have stuff ready for you. Use helpers. People, we can do this here.
We can do
Pull
it.
off a quick dinner.
And you're going to throw this up on top. A lot of peanuts in the Thai diet, so this looks amazing.
They love these as little extras: shallots, green onion, and peanuts.
I like that too.
On top.
Okay, so cityline.ca for that great recipe.
Cityline.ca is so easy to make.
And